It's been over 10 years since Game Freak released its first 3D Pokemon games, Pokemon X and Y. This marked the start of a whole new adventure for so many players, old and new. So I decided I'd solo run this game with my Mascot to see how it holds up a decade after its release. Our journey begins in Vanville Town, where we say 2 words to our mom before we leave, never to be seen again. After a short jog, we meet our friends and choose our partner to start our journey. Oh look, it's my favorite grass-type starter. I couldn't think of a better name than Danny Phantom. After Danny wrecks our friends, we journey through the forest and make our way onward to the first gym. And to our first hurdle. This random trainer right before Viola. Yeah, I didn't expect to wipe this early. So after some very efficient grinding, I went straight back, swept through her Pokemon, and proceeded to challenge the gym leader for her first badge. But having already leveled up, she didn't stand much of a chance. So we grab our first badge and continue on the road to Lumio City. Even though I've only beaten 1 gym, I feel really confident that I won't have any major problems in this run, until I realize how garbage Danny's level up moveset is. Look at this! He doesn't get a single grass-type attack until level 49. And it's Wood Hammer! And his Ghost-type moves? He gets 2! Astonish? And Phantom Force at level 45! Like, who at Game Freak decided this was okay? So, we need to do something repulsive, despicable, downright sad. In order to beat this game, I need to rely on the power of friendship. For those that don't know, in Generation 6, they just casually give you one of the most busted moves in the game on Route 4. Return. A normal type attack that's powers based off of your Pokemon's friendship level. A hidden stat that max giving a power level of 102, which can be gained by walking a lot. So, after a quick stop in Lumio City, we say hi and bye to Professor Sycamore, then run into a totally random stranger who definitely won't be important later on. So we blast through routes, help find a lost dog, and disturb a peaceful Snorlax from his nap, all in the name of progress. We continue on our way, battling trainers, enjoying the scenery, and casually interrupting Team Flare. All the usual everyday things a 10-year-old would do. This is going surprisingly well. No problem trainers I can't avoid, no items I need to find and collect. Everything is playing out just fine. And then I enter the second gym. The first trainer I run into that was totally optional had 1 Pokemon, a Roggenrola. A trainer that, for any other grass-type Pokemon, would have been completely free. But Danny here not having any grass-type moves makes this gym way more of a challenge than it had to be. I struggled to beat this first trainer, having to resort to using healing items, Ingrain, and even Growth in order to win. This really didn't bode well for me. After another quick training montage, we trek through this death zone of a gym, accidentally running into avoidable trainers left and right. Taking another loss to another totally optional trainer battle, even accidentally running into him for a second time. But thankfully, I'm a bit more prepared now. I know he's got a Rhyhorn, a Nosepass, and an Onix. I struggle as hard as I can using Will-O-Wisp, more potions, and even relying on Curse to take out his team. Even after all that, I wasn't even close to being prepared for what comes next. The Salage City gym leader, Grant. His team consists of both the regional fossil Pokemon. The problem? He leads with a level 25 Amora, an Ice Rock type Pokemon with the ability Refrigerate that turns every normal type move into an Ice type move. 1 takedown does about 88% of Danny's health, and I'm 6 levels above him. After another failed attempt, because I don't have healing items, I realize I have 3 options. A, I can brute force it with potions. B, I can overlevel and sweep. Or C, get creative and see what I can do right now. Which I think will be more fun, this time at least. After losing to Grant, I go back to Campfire time, pick up Thief for later, and find this guy who is asking to see a flying-type Pokemon. By showing him this Doduo I caught real quick, he lets me choose a berry from his list. And with that, my plan is in motion. I challenge Grant again. Now I can force his Amora to use Thunder Wave, since his AI really wants me slower than him. curing it with my Cherry Berry allows me to chip away at his HP. And with my ability Harvest, I have a 50% chance to get the berry back. By getting lucky, I force Amora to only use Thunder Wave, allowing me to barely get past without taking a single takedown. So, after blowing through his Tyrant, we take our well-earned badge and finally say goodbye to our second gym. Alright, so after this, not a lot actually happens. So I'll make this quick. I run into a Team Flare grunt, randomly battle gym leader Corina, enter a cave, die in a cave, enter it again. Side note, I do end up evolving Danny into his final form totally legitimately at level 37. We talk about Mega Evolution under a statue, take on the third gym and battle Corina again for a second time, get some cardio walking up a tower, battle Corina for a third time, cross some water on a Lapras, have a very forgettable battle with Ramos to get our fourth gym badge, run security for a power plant, and finally come back around to Lumio City with my favorite character in all of Pokemon, Clement. Now, let me be clear here. I don't have any real reason to love Clement as much as I do, other than how much I always enjoyed watching Clement in the anime. Always coming up with new inventions that almost always end in failure, causing so much chaos while always wanting to help out on their journey. He's just the most relatable, chaotic good character that I know. And with that being said, your quiz is pathetic and your team is weak. Do better, Clement. After trudging through this swamp and hearing a spooky story, we end up at Lavertown. Lavertown? Lavertown, home of the 6th gym. Now, I've always struggled to make it to Valerie's room. And since I haven't played this game in years or seen anyone play it in who knows how long, I was certain that I was gonna take a while. But I somehow took the perfect route first try, all the way to Valerie. Now, by this point, I was a bit overleveled, which made beating her just as easy as navigating her gym. Then, Team Flare tries to take over a Pokeball factory for some reason, before losing to a couple of 10-year-olds that just so happened to be in town at the time. Then the president gives us a totally useless Pokeball as a reward. What a shame. At least he gives us some money with the big nugget. Then we take a bit of a detour through an ice cavern to free an Abomasnow from Team Flare. I think they wanted something with the Megastone. I really don't care about them anymore. Then we get to ride a Mamoswine through the snow and reach Anastar City after 6 hours of playing this game. So I'm just trying to beat this game sooner rather than later. Then we battle and beat Shauna to enter the Anastar City gym to challenge Olympia. But seeing as we're still significantly overleveled at this point and it's a Psychic-type gym, Danny swept through her with no mercy, collecting our 7th badge. Only one more to go before the Elite Four. Oh, and we end up storming Lysander's base, doing even more efficient grinding and taking out all of his forces while completely foiling his plans single-handedly. Maybe needing to make multiple attempts against some trainers because I got a bit cocky and started playing sloppy. So, after 8 hours and 50 minutes, it's finally time to take on the Snowbell City Gym. And the last gym before the Elite Four. The puzzles weren't very difficult, and the trainers weren't very tough. But what I didn't realize is that this next battle against Wulfric would be the hardest battle of the run by far. All because of one Pokemon. Wulfric leads with Abomasnow, an easy enough one-shot. Then Cryogonal. Of course, another easy kill, since it's so frail. But then comes the bane of my existence, Avalugg. A slow physical tank which has 2 problematic moves. Curse, a setup move that buffs both attack and defense, and Avalanche, an ice-type move that does double damage if your opponent goes first. I tried to brute force this battle 3 times before realizing that it wasn't gonna work, just leveling up higher and higher. But it didn't matter that I was 24 levels higher than his Avalugg at this point. I could not beat it. Then I remembered somewhere along the way, I had picked up the item that could make this battle doable. The Yachi Berry. This berry is a held item that will reduce the damage of super effective ice-type moves by 50%. However, it's a single-use item. There's just one problem. You remember how Wulfric leads with his Abomasnow? Well, it just so happens that the AI of the gym leader will know when you have this specific berry, and will always make Abomasnow use Ice Shard, a priority ice-type attack, to get rid of it as soon as possible. But I needed it for his last Pokemon, Avalugg. So what did I do? Well, I brute forced it. Using Danny's hidden ability, I would stall for as long as possible on either his Cryogonal or, in worst case, his Avalode, until I could roll the 50% chance to get it back via Harvest. But even still, I lost 2 more attempts against him. But on the 6th battle, this happened. Now, of course, you're going to Ice Shard in order to take care of my berry. Didn't? What? Is there just a chance he doesn't? What? Well, this gym is easy now. The second I level up even higher, it doesn't use Ice Shard, which is the whole reason I had to level up. Get out of here. Please. You still live? Crunch. 62. Out of heal range? I think I have to heal. Yeah, that's what I thought. Now the hail will stop. I can't go for for Phantom Force because he's going to use Curse. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, we win. It's game over now. As long as I don't misclick. Cool. Okay. God damn. And now that the final gym has been conquered, it's time to challenge the Elite Four. I start with the Flood Chamber, which was an easy sweep between Return and Woodhammer. Then I move on to the Blazing Chamber, which I fully expected to be the hardest battle of this entire run. But thankfully, before I entered the league, I remembered to make a quick pit stop just to the left of Victory Road, where I picked up TM26, Earthquake. Which means, with a little bit of healing off burns, I managed to make it through what I expected to be the biggest hurdle of the game. Even though I was level 90, I still struggled to take out the Torkoal because of the burns. But whatever. Third up, I entered the Dragon Mark Chamber, where the biggest problems were a Cotton Guard Altaria that was really just a nuisance, and a stupid freaking Drudagon that kept using freaking Dragon Tail, forcing me to switch out into the HM Slays I had because I totally forgot they were in my party. I made the executive decision to just let the HM Slaves in my party faint because I really didn't want to go back and put them in the PC and do all this over again anyways. The Drudagon wasn't a problem anymore, and then I could move on to Room 4, the Ironworks Chamber. And between the coverage Danny had with Earthquake and Phantom Force, it was a fairly straightforward battle. And with that, we make our way to the Radiant Chamber for the final fight for our journey against champion Diantha. Which was a total letdown since I'm just casually 28 levels higher. This brings an end to the first challenge on my channel. And it took over 10 hours to beat this challenge. It may not have been the most exciting or challenging, and I might not have had to go through any crazy lengths to complete this challenge, but I had a great time all around. And I hope you did too. If you want to see more videos from me, subscribe to my channel. It would really mean a lot to me and help me with my goal of getting monetized by the end of the year. With that being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.